in a family of elite combat athletes and top-tier performers. The final boss has always stood out, even when he was just a blue chipper. But there wouldn't be a final boss. There wouldn't even be a bloodline if it wasn't for The Rock's grandfather, the High Chief Peter Maivia. You can think of him as the first boss. Predecessor to the tribal chief.
He is one of, if not the foundation for our family. The Anawa'i Fatu Maivia wrestling dynasty. I don't think there's anybody more responsible for what's going on now than the High Chief himself.
Peter Maivia isn't simply one of the two principals behind the sacred blood bond. He's also an incredibly decorated professional wrestler who traveled the world and won titles everywhere he went. New Zealand, Japan, Europe, and here in the United States, where he enjoyed especially successful runs in Hawaii and California. Maivia would eventually find his way to WWE, engaging in legendary battles with the likes of superstar Billy Graham. His larger-than-life personality would win the WWE Universe over in short order, as it had throughout his entire career. In the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia was a potent blend of brawn and grappling technique, often muscling his opponents down to the mat through a variety of joint locks and then switching to more painful holds once grounded. His sleeper hold and stump puller were both feared and renowned, and make no mistake about it, Maivia knew there was always more than one path to the ultimate victory. Out of the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia also ran one of the most successful wrestling promotions on the planet, Polynesian Pro Wrestling, based out of Hawaii, showing his mastery of the business in every aspect. His induction into WWE's Hall of Fame class of 2008 was supremely deserved, forever enshrining Peter Maivia as the legend he always was. And now, we present to you the opportunity to walk in the boots of the legendary High Chief Peter Maivia, facing off against one of the most legendary WWE rivals, George the Animal Steele. You will settle this score once and forever and showcase the overwhelming strength of Peter Maivia, which has ever since remained as a hallmark for every single solitary member of this bloodline. Steele is no easy battle, though. He thrives in the chaos, one of pro wrestling's true madmen. He'll even try to eat part of the ring if he thinks it'll help him break you down. So do your best and honor High Chief Peter Maivia properly with a resounding victory.
Uh-oh, somebody call the local zoo.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is a steel cage match. Introducing first, from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 275 pounds, George the Animal Steele.
I'm not even sure the cage can contain this man.
And strolling down the aisle, the opponent of George Steele, Peter Maivia.
Always a chaotic matchup.
His opponent from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 275 pounds,
because Maivia is a true brawler. Few men can handle the chaos of the animal inside a steel cage, but I believe the High Chief is ready.
Maivia carrying such pride into the ring.
Very stark contrast to Steel. We'll see which prevails tonight.
High Chief Peter Maivia taking on George the Animal Steel in a steel cage match. Quite a heated history between these two guys.
Yeah, Michael, and I think it's because Maivia is one of the few superstars brave enough to take on the animal. Most of their contests have ended in countouts or disqualifications. Thanks to the cage, we'll get a decisive victory in this one.
Well, that really depends on if a cage can even contain that. The High Chief Peter Maivia really making a name for himself at WWE, but he's had plenty of experience on the way up.
Plenty of championships on the West Coast, but he's made the biggest splash in Hawaii, where he earned multiple tag team titles. Oh yeah, Maivia is a huge celebrity on the islands. In fact, I've heard some consider him the personification of Maui. Delivers the snap, man.
Fist drop! Uh-oh, headbutt. Nothing fancy there.
Oh. The fist has been dropped.
Some folks call Peter Maivia the Flying Hawaiian, and the reasons are obvious for that moniker. But guys, how has he earned the other nickname of the High Chief?
Well, Cole, Peter Maivia is very close to the Anawa'i family. In fact, Peter's considered a blood brother to the patriarch of that clan. When you add on the fact that Maivia was born and raised in Samoa, you can see the great pride he has for that land and its people in the tribal ink that covers his body.
Two very opposing styles in every sense of the word, Corey. High Chief Maivia is a much more physically gifted and talented athlete in the ring than Steel. What's it going to take for the animal to get the upper hand here?
Well, he's got to be even more chaotic than ever inside this cage. Nothing about Steel makes sense to someone as traditional as Maivia. There's never any telling what the animal's going to do in a match, and he needs to keep it that way. Toss their opponent.
George the Animal Steel might be a bit of an underdog here. In fact, he lost the match by countout to the High Chief.
In Steel's defense, I'm not sure he knows how to count exactly, or how to read a rule book. So he's got to be happy to be in this cage. Well, Maivia is called the High Chief in part because of his commanding presence in the ring. He's more than ready for what the animal will throw at him, even inside a cage. Clubbing blow. Okay, this is just a little bit dirty. Just ripping and tearing at their...
Oh, no. Now possibly setting up for a submission maneuver.
Solid grip on this hold, not letting go anytime soon.
Aganak.
Able to punch his way out. Peter Maivia prevents that one from connecting.
George the Animal Steel is not a wrestler by any stretch of the imagination, guys. He's a true brawler.
And he might be the best brawler in WWE, Michael. There is no shortage of fight in the animal. But you know who might be a better brawler, guys? The High Chief Peter Maivia. When you consider that Maivia is also an excellent high flyer and a great technician, well, you can see why the High Chief is the favorite in this match, even with the steel cage stipulation.
Gentlemen, we've touched on the differences between Maivia and Steel as competitors. One man based on order, the other on chaos, but it's reflected in their looks, too.
Indeed, Michael. Just look at the sculpted physique of the High Chief. And the tribal tattoos on his body are extremely intricate and definitely eye-catching. And Steel is, well, he's an ugly creature. Enough hair on his upper torso to classify as fur. Folds in his bald head. He's like a modern-day Neanderthal.
Maivia overwhelming his opponent here.
And you can see Steel is struggling to weather the storm with the High Chief. Well, George has certainly seen better days. Oh, gosh. An unprotected shot to the head. Those could add up. Headbutt to the gut!
Peter Maivia, very tough, but he also has movie star good looks. Quite the combo.
And it served him well, Michael. In fact, the High Chief has major acting and stunt work credits to his name. And who knows? Maybe we'll see them
into the pin. George is trying to seal this one up. Somehow breaks the count immediately.
I'm just as shocked as everyone else, Cole. His opponent included. That offense would definitely knock the wind out of him.
He answers right back.
What a hip toss. Got the cover. This might be the end.
He wasted no time kicking out there.
Wow.
And that holds Peter Maivia back. When a man like Peter Maivia signs up for a match with the Animal, he doesn't know what to expect, just to expect anything in the world.
Peter Maivia knows full well that he's in for some unusual treatment tonight. In fact, Steele often has trouble finding opponents due to his erratic nature. But when it comes to competition, the High Chief wants to prove he's worthy of that name. Peter Maivia will take on any competitor, no matter the difficulty.
George beats him to the punch. Ooh. Oh, there's a headbutt.
He avoids the contact. The Animal has to be elated to be in this steel cage against one of his biggest rivals, no less.
Yeah, Byron, we've seen the Animal brandish a weapon against Peter Maivia before, and it was against the rules. The High Chief better be prepared for Steele to get even crazier.
Oh, Maivia's prepared, all right. The man is extremely tough and agile. In fact, the High Chief's entire body can be considered a weapon.
Snapmare.
And drops the fist.
Momentum is all with Maivia now.
Yeah, and Maivia has really figured the Animal out here.
Counters!
And Steele isn't looking helpless anymore. But George has to push now while the window's open. Hold on a second. He might be finding a submission hold here. A stump puller. Trapped in the clutches of this submission. And it's just too much. Has to submit.
Here is your winner, High Chief Peter Maivia!
Anytime these two have faced off, it's been eye for an eye. But the steel cage has finally delivered a decisive victory for the High Chief, Peter Maivia. George Steele is one tough animal, but the way Maivia faced him in the cage tonight just reinforced what everyone already knew, that the High Chief is one tough Samoan.